This time last week we were in the Chihuahua Desert, South Texas, and it was about 100 degrees. And this video is about the things that I learned from going to the Chihuahua Desert. The first problem that was encountered was it was 100 degrees, and our plan was to spend the heat of the day out riding trails in the truck and exploring the Big Bend National Park and the Big Bend State Park during the day. Well, our plans were cut short because the air conditioner in the truck died. So we were in the desert on 100-degree heat without air conditioning. The second challenge that we came across was bugs. We have nets on the back door, and we have a net for the side door, and we have screens on the windows. And they kept pretty good control over the bugs, generally speaking, but we were the only lights in the desert. So every bug for miles came to our nets. Keep in mind, this was the desert, so there wasn't a lot of water for mosquitoes and things like that. We still had bugs, still had problems with bugs. So before we could go to sleep at night, we would have to go on a rampage of swatting bugs. And we have basically your hand lice waters here. We have a couple of those, and before we'd go to bed, we'd have to slap mosquitoes or bugs, moths, candle flies, all over the trailer. Well, the walls are spattered with dead bug guts now, and we've got to wipe all the walls down to clean up the bug guts for the next camp out. So to fix that, we have bought a bug light. Hopefully these little bug lights, we've got 2 of them, hopefully they will do their job at night and attract the bugs and keep them off of us at night, and we won't have to swat as many of them. The next issue that we came across was electricity with the batteries and the solar panels. Our first night there, it was kind of cool in the evening, and so we fired up the electric heater on the solar panels, and we got TV, lights, the refrigerator, everything's running off the solar panels, microwave, things like that. Well, we got the batteries down to 11.8 volts. Of course, that shut everything down. We've got safety systems that shut everything down. And we sucked the batteries down just about as low as they could go and still be safe first night there. So we had a whole 24 hour or 12 hours at least of daylight before we were going to use them again. So we got in the truck, went on our tours, our hot tours without the air conditioner, and we came back and the batteries had not fully recharged. They were about 12.7, 12.8 volts. Right now it's showing 13.7. I've seen it as high as 14.4. And the little smiley face guy was happy, but the meter was not showing that the batteries were fully charged. And the volts that I was getting in was only 17 volts. So I wasn't quite sure. I thought we had lost a solar panel, because I've seen, like today, 21 volts going in and 13.7 volts charged, and the little man is happy. And right now nothing's running off the solar panels. So my concern was that we had lost a solar panel in the desert and we weren't recharging fast enough. So I went on top yesterday and I checked all the solar panels, and the solar panels are charging. That was a surprise. So I came back in here, and like you see today, I checked and it's 21 volts and 13 volts, and everybody's happy. So near as I can figure is the heat from the sun worked against the solar panels in charging. They needed a lot of bright sunlight, but not the intense heat of the desert. The heat from the sun slowed down the electronics or impeded the recharging on the batteries and the electronics. The inverter was running full time on the fans. It was hot in the trailer. We had all the windows open to air it out, and we had the back door drop down to let the breeze go through to cool it off. It did not charge fully, and the inverter in the heat was putting a lot of demands on the batteries. So when we went to bed the second night, we didn't have any way of running the electric heat, and we could barely run the microwave. So that's a concern whenever you're going to be camping in the desert or in the intense heat. are your solar panels and your batteries and your inverter going to operate at optimum so that your math works on your amount of amps that you're going to be able to use? My experience now is that we're not going to be able to use as many amps, and we're not going to be able to suck the batteries all the way down. And you know, we didn't have any shade on the solar panels, so we had full sunlight at least 6 to 6. Actually, it was probably about 6 or 7 a.m. till about 8 p.m. But it still was not enough to recharge the batteries on a full day. These are just some things to think about. You know, we're going this summer to cooler climates, but we're going to have to watch our solar hours of charging because of trees and shadows and things like that. These are some things to think about when you're boondocking and you're out there and things don't work the way that you plan them to work. What's your alternative plan? For us, we had lots of water in the truck. We were burning up in the truck. We stayed one day less, and we got out as soon as we could. We also learned that we're going to have to travel at night if we lose our air conditioner again. The air conditioner on the truck is fixed, and the batteries are recharged. Everything's fine with the batteries now, and we're all back to good. Now I've got to clean the inside of the trailer out for the bugs. We've got the bug zapper back here, right there, and we got that problem solved. So it's just something to think about. Hope you learned something. Thank you for watching.